And we're back. Okay, so we're in the second part now. So we continue where we left off. Don't worry, you didn't miss anything yet. So we finished with this frame here, one side. Now we need to copy it to the other side. How do we do this? First, let's start with copying the cut that we did here. And yeah, let's start. How are we going to do this? We're going to use the mirror as usual. Let's do mirror faces. Select the mirror plane and click OK. Wait for it. Now I'm both recording and using Fusion, so again it depends how fast your computer is, and usually happens. So here we go. So now we copy it to the other side. Now what we need to do is copy the frame to the other side as well. So we activate the frame component and we go into the mirror. This time it's going to be a body, this one, into the other side, and we click OK, and voila, here you go. It's beautiful. And this one, it looks good too. Now we can move on. Again, it's up to you. You can create a second frame from which one it was. You need to create also a frame for this one here down below, exactly the same way. I'm not going to do it because you already see it's the same concept, okay, the same idea. You can do it here, and you can also do this one as well. You can also do a frame again for this one here. You know what, maybe I'm going to do this one, okay? It should be relatively also easy. So I'm going to do this one. I'm gonna go again, plane along path. Let's do it fast. Take it back. Now we are on the frames here. That's okay. Let's see, we can create maybe a new one. Okay, it's just another frame, but never mind. So I'm gonna keep it this frame body inside here. But in general, I will suggest you to create a separate component to that. Now, let me just go back. Good. Try not to play with the view. Now, what we need to do is we're gonna need to project this line here. Go into the line command. And we know this is the line, it's right here, okay? So it depends on how thick do you want it, and you know, this can be sometimes really you know, really annoying. Yeah, again, this is one of the Fusion glitches. You see the finish thingy there, it was really annoying. Came right on the way. So now it's closed. You can dimension this one. It's gonna be 1 centimeter, I don't know, or maybe 20, but of course it needs to be proportional to the rest of the body. So I'm gonna leave it like this. It looks okay. And now if I want, I can extend it outside, but I'm gonna use the same technique as before. So we're gonna go to create, sweep, choose this one, select the path, and whoop, all the way to the other side. Okay. And this one it doesn't supposed to be a huge one, and so what I can do is again, I can reduce it. Either we can use the sketch, for example, turn it on, and can just it's would be better if we do it from here, maybe 8 mm, but I want it to be in the middle. So how do we do this? We create a middle line here, and then we go to symmetry, check this line here, this line, and this one in the middle, and it shouldn't have happened, but I need to give it a dimension here. It's 5 mm. Let's try again. This line, and this line. Good. So we keep it in the middle. Okay. I think maybe I'm gonna give it 6, like this. Much better. And good. I'm pretty much happy with this one. And next step, you know what we need to do? 2 things. We need to extend this face. We need to bring it out. All the way out. Again, don't worry about this. We're gonna cut them. And we need to bring it also out from here. So let's give it 1 mm, or maybe actually 2 mm, just to be sure. Now we're going back to the ribs. Going to combine, select the body, and select our tool. It's this one, and we click OK. Now we can go back to our frame. Yeah, I know it's like back and forth, but it makes sense, yes? Hopefully. Push pull, and we select this face here, new offset, -2. Boom. Okay. And yeah. Okay, so far so good. And then you can do the rest here, exactly the same point. Okay. Now what we're gonna finish here, it's the we need to finish the cuts that we did. I'm just gonna hide this for a moment, and we're gonna go to the mirror and see faces. So just to be sure, I'm gonna select this one and this one. I'm gonna use the faces instead of the feature. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I don't wanna start. Don't have time for that. Click OK. Good. And now we're going back to the frames, and we're going to mirror the body here to the other side, and OK. Okay, that's it. Now I'm not going to play anymore because you're probably now looking for the how we're going to cut now the ribs. But yeah, we can cut it now. We can work on the frame afterwards, the skin outside afterwards. It's not a big deal. And let's just see here. Okay. Let's make now the skin. You can do it like this. It's the first time actually that we are going to use actually sketches from somewhere else. You can either use the sketch or use the body, but now I want to use the sketch because the body, it's a bit different from how the skin is going to look like. So we're going to go to the patch environment, and this one, it's our skin, and it's activated. I can hide the ribs. I don't need it. Oh, actually the ribs I need, the bodies I don't need. We're gonna go to the loft command, and exactly as before, choose these two, go to the rails, choose this one. No, sorry, not yet. Second profile, this one. Now we go into the rails, we choose this one, and we choose the top one. Okay, so this is how the skin is going to look like. But again, every time I'm going to change something, it's going to affect everything, so don't worry about it. We have now one body here, and let's turn on the you can see how it looks like. Okay, so in the middle here, the skin is not going to touch this one, but again, it's up to you how you want to do it. You can either do it exactly the same, or do the skin separately and separate kind of from this part, or you can just make the frame so it's going to be exactly like the skin. It's up to you. I'm giving you the option, the tools. Let's turn these bodies off from now, and we're going to thicken the body. Again, this one can be tricky. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Let's see, I just need 5 millimeters. Again, you see it doesn't work. So give here 5 millimeters, click OK, repeat another 5 millimeters and click OK. And so we have now two bodies. Now next step, it's going to be go back to the model, and we're going to combine them together. I don't need to cut, I just need to join them, and we click OK. And let's go back to the patch environment. Not yet. Now we need to mirror. We mirror this body to the other side, and we click OK. Yes. Okay. Now actually the direction was supposed to be outside, so that's my mistake. What we're going to do now is let's go one step backwards, and let's start with this. It needs to be -5, and the second one as well, -5. Let's wait for it. Wait for it. You gotta be patient sometimes with this, because if not, you're gonna have a lot of problems. Good. Now it needs to go through the combine process. And what we're gonna do next, in order to cover this crack here, we're gonna use the loft command here to close it. So it's gonna be okay. I know it's not perfect 100%, but it is what it is, but it works. So we're going to create loft. Choose this one here, this face, and this second profile, and just keep it. The loft will not be valid direction. Try adjusting the continuity setting. Now if I'm going to change it to, before I'm going to do this, I'm going to save it. I'm going to save it because I know from experience that sometimes the loft command can crash everything. So I'm not going to take any chances. I'm going to save it now. We're going to try again. Let's try from the bottom here and to the top. And you see now I changed profile, and now suddenly it's working. Okay, so if the top down didn't work, try to start from the down and up. Yeah, why? It is what it is. So now it's closed. Okay, all the way to the other, to this point here. So now we can go and as you can see, we have only one body. So now we can go and mirror it to the other side. Voila. Now don't worry much about this here. This one we don't need to close, and in a moment you're gonna see also why. So we're just gonna make just a simple combine this one with this one. And we plus minus finished with this one here. No, it didn't combine them. Okay, it doesn't matter, to be honest. It doesn't matter. We don't have to combine them because they are going to be separate. Okay, and so just let's leave it as it is. But now what we're going to create a new component, and this one I think it's called kill. It's the bottom part, it goes all the way down, and it's also connected to the stern and stuff like that. Okay, so where it comes from? It comes from this sketch here. So the bodies, we turn them off. The skin we need to turn off. Now we're going back to the patch environment. Unselect the chaining and choose this one here. And it's going to be on symmetry on both sides, and I want it, we can start with 5 millimeters. If it's not going to be enough, we can always change the width, Now we just need to turn it into a body, so we're going to thicken this one again, both sides 5 millimeters. Maybe I'm going to give it even more, 6. You can go into the turn this one on, and like this you can see if it's deep enough or not. Okay, click OK. Now it looks really good, and if you're gonna put on top of it the skin, so you can see we're going to cut the skin here in the middle, so it doesn't matter. So let's first cut the frame here, the ribs, and so we are in the rib component, and let's turn off the sketches for now. I don't think I'm gonna need them. And we're going to the model environment, going to combine. So it's this one. We're changing it to cut, keep, and this one. Boom, we cut it. Okay, so if we turn this off, here you go. We got a beautiful but something here, it's not right. Let's see why. I'm not sure 100% why it looks like this, but it's, or maybe it is okay, I don't know. Depends how you look at it. It's kind of weird. Anyway, if it's not good, then you can maybe drag it a little bit upward, but we can see the arrows later on when we're gonna cut it. If there are any arrows, then you can always go back and change stuff. So let's go now to the skin. We can turn off the ribs for now. And we do the exact same thing. We go with target body, and we have to do it one body at a time because they're not combined. And now we're going to, we don't need this one, that's for sure. It's this one. Click OK. Now again to the other side, this one, and voila. Okay, so now if we put everything together, that's how it looks. Let's turn all the assembly on, and it looks really nice, except something here, it's a bit off. And what is this? Okay, the skin here. Okay, again, let's figure out these things later. Again, we can always change stuff, so let's not worry about this now. But let's focus now on the ribs. Okay, this is the most exciting part. We need to turn off the kill, skin, and frames as well. And yeah, so now we're doing the cutting. Now, in order to do this, we are here. We're going to create a new sketch. Sorry, we're gonna offset a plane here. It's this one. We're gonna offset somewhere about here, like this. Click OK, and we're going to create a new sketch here. But we're gonna start from here. We go into line here. Maybe we can start from this point here all the way, so we cover everything. And the second line parallel to this one. Now let's dimension the thickness. It's gonna be maybe like, I don't know, 8 millimeter in thickness. You can always change it later on. Okay, and we click finish, stop. And now let's look what we are going to do now. That's how the magic starts. So we choose the body that we need to split. We choose this one first, click OK. Go through the same process, just need to turn this one back on. Choose the body and choose the second line. Oh. Great, so now we made a slice here. What we do next, we go into the pattern, and you guess right, rectangular pattern. We go into feature, we choose feature here, and then the object, it's this one and this one. Select direction, so it's gonna be on the X, it's this one here, and we drag it all the way where we want it. Let's just say, yeah, 900 and maybe 90 or maybe 900. Here we're gonna create like a horizontal, something like with an angle cut. And how many we want, I don't know, 17. It should be enough, I think. And cross your fingers. Give it a few seconds. Voila! Here we go. It looks kind of funny. Let's minimize this one here. Let's go to the bodies and see what we've got here. Yeah, there are a lot of bodies, but don't worry about it. We're gonna arrange it. Now, this one we can hide. This one we can also hide. So it's going to be, you know, every second, I think. Okay, I don't know, quite sure about what these bodies are or where they come from. They come from somewhere. I'm not quite sure where. But yeah, let's start with this one. So it comes from here, going to this one here, and I think it's this one. Again, this one, this one. This one we are going to need. This one we're going to cut on the side here. Okay, and this one is this one. Fine. Good. And now we have some extras here, and I'm not quite sure where they come from. But yeah, it is what it is. Now, how can we deal with all these extras that we have? Very simple. In the last updates, Fusion added a new feature here. It's called New Group. So we're gonna have a new folder here which we can put or organize all the bodies in general like this. So I'm gonna call it bodies I don't need, for example, and select all these that I don't need. Then drag them inside this folder. Do to all the rest as well. Everything we don't need, we can drag them, or you can also right click and remove. You don't delete, okay? Right click, remove. We remove it from the future, okay? We don't remove it from the past. We remove it only from the future. We say, okay, from now on, I don't want to see it anymore, okay? But don't use the delete. That's going to be a huge mistake. Or just do it like I did here. Just leave it alone. Put it on its own folder. Now it's not bothering us, okay? And look what we've got here. It's beautiful. This is all the ribs that we wanted with all the cuts and everything. Again, if you made another one, you can always go back in time, and if you forgot something, and do whatever you need to do, and it's gonna affect, and then move back in time to the future, okay? So this one looks really, really nice. Let's just close down this one. I want to turn on the skin here. Let's go to the top here. I want to see what's going on. Okay, so we have this problem here, this issue with this one here. We need to fix it, because here it's good, but here it's not so good, and that is because of the sketches. So what do? We need to go into the sketch here, and we're going to turn on the ribs sketch, okay? That's the part that shaped our ribs. And now what we're gonna need to do is we can push it in. Again, this part where a strong computer with a really fast CPU could help. So yeah, maybe I should have just go back in time before all the cuts, and then do this change. I don't know. Sometimes I keep forgetting that my computer is not that fast. So something like that can take an effect, especially now because I'm also recording. So I just need to give it a few seconds more. As you can see, computing, doing all the calculation that needs. Come on. Okay, now I'm doing the split, and okay. Now you can see it did effect, okay? I don't want to do it again. It's gonna take way too long time, but you get my point. It's not a big deal. We just need to push it a little bit more inwards, and it's gonna be really, really nice. So what we can do now, so it's gonna look like something. We can just I don't know, go into, give it some appearance. Okay, so it's gonna look like a boat. And now if you're gonna turn, as you can see here, the frames also need the same material, and I think the keel will also gonna need the same material. Frames here and the keel as well. Let's forget about for a moment about the skin, and look at that. Ta-da! It's amazing. Looks really, really, really nice. I like it. The results are really good. Look at the ribs here. How beautiful they look. It's brilliant. And you saw with nothing, seriously nothing. I didn't really finish also to see I still have a lot of things to do, but look at the timeline. It looks really, really nice. Let's remove the frame here. Now you can see you got all the impression, everything here. Now if you're going to use a CNC machine to cut those ribs, it's very easy. Just right click and save as STL and send it out to the CNC, and that's it. It's very easy. Now what we need to do is you probably want to know how to do the cut here at the top for the cockpit and all the other stuff. You can finish the rest, you know. I'll just show you just do the same thing, sketch and make some kind of a line which is parallel to this one here, and another one here, and another one, and then you can create this cut here and remove the one here in the middle. So it's very simple. Now let's make the cockpit here, the hole here. And how do we do this? Okay, let's go on, need to be on the rib side. And let's just see here. Now we need to use, we're gonna be on, yeah, we're gonna be on this origin here. Okay, so we're going to create a new sketch. It's going to be here. So we need to figure out how far do we want it, back and forward. We need to, for example, if we're gonna use it from here to, let's just say, to here. Okay, and then we can project this line here and maybe this line here as well. Okay, so you see we closed here the line. Now what we gotta do is next, click cancel. We could right click the lines and then break the link if we want, or we can just let them be. And this is gonna give us the option to make a cut through, and then we can start, you know, working on creating the frame all around. And yeah, so now let me show you what I'm gonna do next. And so we're gonna finish here. Oh, sorry, let's go back again. Now what we're actually going to do is we are going to I want to actually bring this one inwards. I don't know, let's just say 10 millimeters from this side, and another one minus 10 here. Okay, I want it to be like this. I don't want to cut it all the way to the corners. I want to cut it a little bit more in here. And so now we do two things. First, we extrude this part both ways, and we're gonna cut all the excess that we don't need. You can see, boom. So now we made the hole here for the cockpit. Now how can we build the frame here? That's easy enough. We go into the sketch environment, we turn the patch environment, we turn on the sketch on again, and we're going into the extrude, and we're going to extrude it. We can extrude both sides. You can decide different lengths. Here I want it all the way, so we're passing this one here. And you're probably thinking, okay, but what's going on? It's not gonna be as how can we make it nice and round? And I'm gonna show you in a second how we're gonna do it. Click OK. So now we have this extra piece here. Again, you can make it in a new component. That's actually will be my best suggestion, to create a new component for this part. And then now we're going to thicken, chain, And yeah, well, why didn't took everything. Second, taken inside I want it, so it's like minus, I don't know, 5 millimeters thickness. Looks good, beautiful. We can make this one longer if you want. And yeah, next step, that's the cool one. Just need to close this. What we're going to do is we're going to the model. You can actually do it also from the patch. Go to split body, choose the body we want to split, and choose the splitting tool. And it's going to be this face here. And we click OK. Cross finger at the same time. Boom, chakalaka. And so now this one we don't need anymore. We can move it over here, and we have this extra at the top which we don't need, and we can also move it here, and voila. Now if this is actually you know, intruding into the wood, which I don't understand why it happened. It shouldn't actually have happened, because we extruded. Let's just see. It was symmetry, that's why. One way, sorry. As you can see here, I made a mistake. We fix it, click OK, and voila, here we go. So yeah, all those drop down menus, things that you did before, sometimes it's remembering, so you have to pay attention to that. So here we go, we created a hole for the cockpit, we create this frame, and you can continue to create another hole here, or maybe do something different here, you know, play with the shape. It can be like seats here for the guests, and here it's going to be a cockpit on this side, so you can create the shape, you know, you can do all kind of stuff. And now it's basically can be also time to start to work on the flooring and everything. Yeah, let me just save this one. Okay, and yeah, we can just you know, continue with developing everything here and making it more nice. Go to the small details, fix this one here. It's, to be honest, it's really annoying. But you saw what happened before. It could take more than a few seconds to change it back, because again, I'm both recording now with the program here, which take resource from the CPU, and also working with Fusion. So it's not going to be a good idea for me to do in the future. A few months, I'm going to buy a new computer, then I will be able to do much more crazy stuff. So but what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you a nice little gift. I'm going to save this file, and I'm going to save also, I have this file as well, so of course, and I'm going to attach it, and I'm just going to send you a link where you can download it from, and then you can, you know, play with it and see exactly in your eyes and your machine. You're going to have those files, and yeah, and have fun with it. Okay, so again, we achieve our goal. The goal is to show you the process, how to cut, how to make those ribs. And as I explained, at this point, you can always go back and make changes to the ribs. If you think we are missing something, you can always go in and make changes, go back in time. And it's much easier when you separate the different elements, because your timeline is going to look also different. So you can always go back in time to this point, or to this point, or to this point, do the changes, and then move again to the current time, and you're gonna see the effects. Okay, and so yeah, this is great. Actually, I'm really happy with the results, even though the skin here it's not 100%, but it's not a big deal. As I said, because we just need to push it just a little bit more in, and that's the whole idea with this technique, that you can do whatever you want. You can always change it. So this is really not a big deal. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this this video, and it's gonna help you designing your boats and have really a lot of fun with it. And again, if you have any question, you want to know something, please be as specific as possible. Don't tell me, okay, continue developing, be more specific, because I can do a lot of things here at the top. You know, it's pretty much easier to cover this. You can do it in many ways. You can use the same, you know, bridge that we created from one side to the other, and then stop it here, and then cut pieces all along it, or do whatever you want. But just let me know if you have anything specific. Send me a link to how it should look like, and it's gonna help me understand exactly what you want. And if it's something that I think it could benefit everyone, then I'm gonna make a tutorial. If not, then we can communicate off the record. You can say it through you know, the Fusion 360 forum. You can send me a PM, and yeah. But this is for today. The video, it's pretty long. It's long enough. I hope you enjoy it. Please leave a comment, and don't forget the thumbs up. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.